So we're going to have a short little metal detecting adventure today. I'm out here with my friend, my dear old friend Jim, who hasn't quite made it to us yet. He's about, I actually can't even see him, but he's out there somewhere. We're back on a farm that we have permission to detect. It's a big farm. We're both hunted it a number of times, but we're looking for new spots. But first, I wanted to come back to an area that I made a little video at where we found some bullets, most like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And see if I could at least find 1 or 2 bullets so I don't feel like I'm skunked, and then we're going to explore the farm. So I haven't really found much yet until just now, and I have I guess that's just like a little harness buckle of some sort. I think it's more of a D buckle, I guess. It's broken. Nice brass, looks Civil War-ish to me. Actually, it's not a buckle because look at that little loop on the end. I don't know exactly what this thing is. It's a mystery for sure. But it's at least Civil War era, I'd say. So give us a few minutes. We'll try to find a bullet or 2 for you. Maybe a nice Confederate button, because I think this is a Confederate spot right here. Jim still hasn't caught up to us. In fact, I have no idea where he went because he wasn't that far behind me. I'm in the area still where I dug that little piece of brass buckle right there. And this far away, it's about 11, 12 feet, I dug another piece of a buckle, and I suspect it's the same kind or same thing, or one, you know, like it that's broken. But I thought it was interesting how far apart, if it's all the same piece, you know, that far apart in the plowing, you know, when they're plowing it got separated after it got broken. But you know, I'm not 100% on that because I had no idea what kind of buckle that even is. I've never seen anything just quite like, I had never seen anything like it. I had no idea. That's the best way to put it, I guess. All right, let me get back to digging. It's much colder than I thought it was going to be today. When I left the house, the wind was not blowing. I didn't even bring a jacket, but the wind is blowing here, and it always seems to be blowing on this farm for some reason. I should have known better. So I got to keep moving, otherwise I'm going to get cold. I'm a wimp, I know. So what do you make of this? This is a little piece of like copper brass rolled up like a little tube. Not far from where I found the other 2 pieces of that little buckle. Got one there, and one just slightly uphill. I don't know if that's going to be like a roller to a buckle or what, but it definitely looks old enough to be Civil War era to me, which would be 157 years, more or less. Might be a good spot. I'll have to just hang out here for a while. What do you say? So I'm still in that general area where I found that little buckle, which was actually right down in there. Jim finally showed up. He's up on the hill digging away. We found a few bullets up there. I got a signal here. I wasn't really happy with it, I'll be honest with you, but I went ahead and dug it. And it turns out it is a doohickey. Do you know what that is, any of you guys? Do you? I do. This is a knapsack hook. This is a hook that goes on a Federal soldier's Civil War knapsack. There's a couple other pieces you can find of these. Is these, which we call J hooks because they look like a J, and there's little triangle pieces. You know, if they just threw the whole rucksack away, they'll be scattered around here somewhere. So we're gonna look around a little bit more. What do you say? Jim's digging away, so I'm hoping he's finding some stuff. I suspect he is. Now this is a curious little item right here. I don't really know what it is. I think it's pewter. See, I kind of picked at it a little bit, and it's a little bit crumbly. So it's pewter, or might have a lot of lead in it. Don't think it's a fired bullet, but I just don't know what that might be. I mean, it's possible it could be a funky musket ball, but I just don't know about that one. And we might not ever find out. Well, I'll let you know if I do. Well, it's going to have to be today, because after today, I'll forget about it. So about 10 minutes and maybe 5 feet away from where I found the J hook, we got this little signal, and it is the back of a button. And I suspect this is going to be like an eagle button. 99% sure on that. And this would be like go on a cuff, or more likely, or as likely, on a kepi or the hat, because they had little buttons on the hat too that were, you know, purely decorative. But so they're the same size, so you can't really tell which one it is. But it sounded terrible. It just sounded like a little click of an iron thing, and it was only a few inches deep. Ground out here is that clay stuff, and even though that doesn't look that bad, it's just a weird signal grabber. You know, I can hear them, but it doesn't ring up good. Very few of the signals I've dug today have. let's go ahead and dig a signal together. I got one here that could be something good, but it's not ringing up good on the machine. I'll show you what I'm talking about, kind of like that eagle button. That's where I dug the eagle button, just a little bit over here. You can see I got something in there. I'm in all metal. Well, by the way, Garrett AT Max, all metal right now, maximum sensitivity. And I got a signal here, and you can see it's nice and loud, but it's not really reading good on the meter. Every once in a while it jumps up. So the first thing I would do, and will do, is I kick the dirt off, and just that little bit might make a difference. Let's try it now. So it's still there. Let me set you up, and we're going to dig this one a little, kind of carefully, just to see how deep it actually is. I'm going to try it with a pin pointer, just to see. See, that's the ground doing that, because that's that clay. We're going to go ahead and shave off a couple inches, just like that. Hopefully we won't hit the target. And now we'll try it with a pin pointer. I don't think it was in that top. It didn't sound quite loud enough. All right, so here we go. See, it's not making the pin pointer go off here, so we know that's not the ground, but right in here, I'm getting a little bit. So we're really close to it. Whatever it is right there, but a little bit deeper. So let's go ahead, so we don't hit it or scrape. I'm gonna take out a bigger chunk, but we'll dig it carefully so we can tell how deep it is. Okay, I'm sure it's gonna be in this, all right? So let's do that. We just pull this whole piece out, flip it over, see if it's in that 1.5 inches. And it isn't, so we know it's a little deeper. Carefully remove some of this. Okay, see, something looks like a bullet there, but no, that's going to be iron. And the way I can tell, well, I'm 99% sure, look right there, that little red stain, I think that's going to be a rust. I mean, it may not be, but I suspect it's going to be a rust, yeah, and it is. So that was a little piece of iron. But I'm going to tell you, that's a part of a knife, I think, maybe? Yeah, that's a knife. And probably from the Civil War Kent that was here. But that's the kind of signals that I'm listening for. I didn't know if that was iron or good. It didn't say either way. And you see it wasn't that deep. Normally, I mean, I would know that was iron because there's only, what, 4 inches max, maybe 3. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to go ahead and dig around here some more. Jim was here a minute ago, but he left. There he is. Maybe he's digging. I don't know why he's in the bushes. I don't ask questions when I'm with Jim. He does good though. Jim and I kind of took off, and we're exploring the farm, trying to find a kind of a new little hot spot. We've been at it for about 2 hours really, and I tell you, I have not found anything at all old. A lot of like modern rifle casings and stuff like that. But I have a signal here that I want to show you because there's something else going on with it. And I want you guys to tell me if you know what it is. All right, so I'm actually in the discrimination mode here. And nice little squeaky there. I mean, it's semi-squeaky, but it's probably can slaw. Right in this area right here. But my question to you is, do you see anything else besides this area? Like that, look. This is a quartz crystal. This is actually a mineral. I said like an entire crystal. It's called quartz, and it's pretty cool, isn't it? Just laying right on top of the ground. There's probably more around if we look, and we might for a few minutes, but let's go ahead and dig that signal first. It's going to hold you, so it might be a little bumpy, but let's see what we got. There's just not a lot of old stuff in this part of the farm. Well, I just shot a little scene where I found a quartz crystal and had a squeaky signal, and the GoPro, being a GoPro, just kind of quit working in the middle of the shot, and that was a squeaky thing I was hearing. That's a tooth off a sickle bar mower. There'd be a whole bunch of them on a bar that goes back and forth and cuts hay and stuff like that. So I just met up with Jim, and I think he said he found a dime or something, a modern Roosevelt dime. I just dug this little piece of brass, and it looks oldish. Fortunately, I broke it, but we're heading to another part of the farm where we have found a few bullets in the past. We haven't been yet this year, just to try to get not get super skunked today. Well, I mean, I'm doing okay, but I haven't found a bullet yet, which is surprising. All right, if we don't find anything here in about a couple, 3 or 4 minutes looking around, we'll keep moving. Yeah, nothing great yet. Just dug this. It's big, heavy chunk of iron, solid iron. I don't know what it would be. I thought it might be part of a cannon wall, but I kind of doubt it, really, the more I look at it. But that's a what's it for sure. Well, looky here. That's another button back. This is a Civil War button, and it's probably an Eagle button, you know, federal uniform button. But yeah, so there was definitely a soldier standing right here. I wonder what kind of little mushrooms these are here. Anyone know? I see them a lot out here. Kind of weird to see them in the middle of winter like this. I mean, it gets down in the mid-20s every night. I mean, it freezes. But anyway, okay, Eagle button. We're on the track to some relics, I think. Not too far from where I dug that button back, and about 40 minutes later, I just dug this. That looks almost like it could be part of a shoe buckle, corner of a shoe buckle. Not really enough there to figure it out, though. Yeah, not finding a whole lot anymore. Day started out good, though. The last little thing I found, I said, sounded looked a little bit like a shoe buckle. This was in the same hole, and this is absolutely part of a spoon handle, probably a spoon. And that other thing was not part of this. It was much thicker and had that square edges on it. That's kind of odd, isn't it? Same hole. Now this is kind of weird. I got a little bit of a signal here, and as I'm digging it, I'm hitting a lot of charcoal and burned ground. Now this was an orchard at one time, so I suspect this could be where maybe they burned the old peach trees. It was a peach orchard. I don't think that's going to be super old enough to be like a trash pit, and there's no iron in here whatsoever. I was just actually hearing this burn ground and stuff, so kind of interesting. And just want to show you that not all charcoal that you find buried down like that is necessarily any older than well, not that old actually. But I had a little squeaky. I popped it out of the ground, and somewhere, I actually don't see it right now, is a Civil War item. I was actually on the other side of the hole, but I don't even see it. Oh, there it is. That's why. Looky! This is a Civil War carbine or carbine bullet. I think that's a Smith carbine. See, it's got that one groove. Kind of small. Don't know. Could have been fired. Could have been just chewed on. I'm not sure. Just dug a shotgun shell. So that means there's plenty of signals in this field. And I dug, you know, some other modern junk like aluminum. What we have here is a Burnside carbine. Again, this, you know, this was used by the cavalry, the Yankee cavalry probably. And it was fired, because if you can see these little lines that go up like that, that's the rifling. So this has definitely been fired. So just a couple feet away from where I found that fired Burnside, I just dug a giant bolt. It could be from the Civil War era, but it's more likely just farm related. Could be before or after the Civil War. Just, you really can't tell with these things. How'd you make out, Jim?
Well, I couldn't find my butt with both hands. I found enough aluminum cans to buy a new detector, but, you know, had a good day.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. What do you say?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you got something in your pocket.
Oh, I see something on the ground over there. Looks interesting.
Well, yeah,
oh, did you find that out here?
Check that out.
Oh, well.
That's a treasure.
We're going to check you guys out later.
And I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand.